Pittsburgh, y'all let of all people, y'all let Jerry Jones fleece y'all, man. Y'all let Jerry Jones take y'all to McDonald's for a fucking Sprite and a McChicken for our best fucking player.
Now tell me what he did.
We don't give a fuck.
I mean, but no, y'all notorious. Y'all notorious for knowing when it's time to go over wide receiver.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Two Peas in a Pod with Tim and Ryan. As always, I'm Tim. That's my brother, my brethren. You know, co-creator, co-host, and you know what I'm saying, really the godfather of the whole podcast thing. My dog Frank Day, Ryan, aka Frank Day. How you doing? How you doing on this lovely Friday night, brother?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain, my brother. Tired of this motherfucker, but we here.
Yeah, this shit. I'm right there with you, dog. I'm right there. I feel myself getting sick too. It's always you know how when the seasons change, it go from hot to cold, cold to hot. That's always the 2 times a day I get sick. It's creeping up on me. I feel it.
That's why I dress cold till niggas start sweating. I was like, all right, I guess I can change it up now.
Yep. And then I'm one of them people that sweat easily. So it's like like in the shade, it be cold, and then once I get out in the sun, I'm like, okay, I got to take this motherfucker off. I was like, this shit got to come off.
Man, fuck this shit.
Yeah, man. But shit, it is now May, so we got what, about 3.5 months until football season actually start.
Yep.
You know me, I start doing the countdown. I always no motherfucking time.
As soon as the final ends, all right, we got 3 months to the season start.
Yep. Yeah. As soon as the draft is over with, fucking, that's when I get to do my studying and I get to count down. Like, oh yeah, we got this many weeks. Like, yeah, we got about 3.5 months till football season.
Yeah.
Speaking of the draft, man, a couple weeks ago we had the 2025 NFL draft. Drafting the NFL stars of tomorrow. What was your thoughts on this year's draft? Did anything outside of like the obvious, which we're gonna talk about, but did anything jump out to you?
No. To answer your question truthfully, no. I mean, it was cool. I mean, it was the shit after niggas got drafted, like Abdul, what's his name, Carter.
Joe Carter, yeah.
Trying to wear Lawrence Taylor number. It's like, bro, you gotta make that number 11 stick for you try changing numbers and shit, bro. Go ahead, get 11.
Yep.
And ball the fuck out. The shit with Travis talking about he gonna switch numbers on offense and defense. I hope Travis understands. I hope he really understands. Once you get in the NFL games, niggas gonna try to hurt you.
Yeah. Like, bro, you're playing in granted, he's playing in the AFC South, so there's not very many, wide receiver. I'm not gonna say wide receiver threats, but it's I don't know. Like, I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see him on both sides of the ball, but it's like, bro, I get saying you're trying to take full advantage of the moment, but this is the NFL. This is no longer, this is no longer high school. This is no longer college. This is not SWAC. This is not the Big 12, nigga. This is the NFL. Okay, you're playing the division where you got to guard Nico Collins, and then on the other you got to be guarded by Derek Stingley and Jalen Petrie. So, and you got to see them 2 times a year.
So that's 8 games of hell. Yeah. So you got 9 more.
Yeah. I haven't even looked at who else the Jaguars play, but it's like, okay, bro. I really hope all the shit you've been talking about, see you're not playing, you're gonna retire unless you can play both sides. I really hope you can back this up, because I'm excited. I want to see it. Like, I'm very excited to see it.
I'm with you. I mean, I just hope he stay healthy.
Yeah, for sure.
And get a prenup.
That too, because all for it seemed like that for a minute she was a bigger topic of conversation than you was.
Nigga won a
Everything that she,
Heisman.
everything that she was doing was everything that you was doing was getting overshadowed because of the shit she was doing.
This nigga won the Heisman. Nobody was talking about it.
All they was talking about was Dion having to force her to stand up and all this other type of crazy shit.
And then when he got drafted, Shorty in a t-shirt, everybody else is dressed, nice and shit. It's the NFL draft. Shorty is in a t-shirt.
Like we all see what's going on. That's on him, man. He got to figure that out on his own.
No, man, they ain't talked about it. Less visibility, the better.
That's true. That's true. But man, we are gonna talk about his counterpart though, man. The whole let's talk about this whole Sheduer Sanders situation because this shit was wild. So Sheduer was projected to go first round. He dropped all the way down to the fifth round. He was the Cleveland Browns traded up to draft him. And the whole situation surrounding Sheduer, it was kind of a clown show because I didn't really like how the media was trying to portray him. But Ryan, I want you to go ahead and you take off on this one first. Give me your thoughts and opinions on this whole Sheduer situation.
To me, the whole Sheduer situation was them trying to come back at Dion, or maybe they don't like the flashiness, the bust down. I mean, bro, some of the shit you wearing is what NFL players is wearing. Like, and some of your jewelry hits harder than NFL players' jewelry and shit. So they're gonna be like, well, fuck him. And then the day before the draft, they did a video where it was like, we really don't even need it. We just work hard like we do. And it's just like, okay, at this point, obviously it's bullshit because you can't tell me outside of Cam Ward that there is a better quarterback than Sheduer Sanders in this NFL's draft. Jackson Dart is not it. Dylan Gabriel will. If things go how I think we're gonna figure that situation out, Mr. Gabriel. I do appreciate his contributions to the University of Oklahoma. Thank you, sir. But no, eventually the Sheduer is going to be starting in the NFL this year.
I like that. I like that. I think we can all come to agreement that this was the NFL's way of getting back at Dion. It's like we can't get to Dion, so let's get the next best thing. Let's get his son. And miss me with all the bullshit about he had a bad meeting with the teams and bro, I'm not trying to hear that shit. We all know what the fuck this was. Like how did somebody that's projected to go in the first round in the top 20 fall all the way to the fifth round pick? How bro, the QBs that was taken before Sheduer fucking Cam Ward, which was, we all said that was coming. Jackson Dart, you can make it arguable, but I'm sorry. Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe, and Dylan Gabriel, there's nothing you can do to convince me either one of those three quarterbacks are better than Sheduer. And there's no disrespect to them. So they all get in their own way, but do I think they're better than Sheduer? No. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people can agree with me. Not to mention, the thing that nobody's really talking about, I think the biggest way of them getting back at Dion and kind of sticking it to him and Sheduer, they let him go to the fucking Cleveland Browns, the team that was the absolute worst team in football last year, and the team that has been notoriously known for having horrible development of quarterbacks. So I think at this whole situation, I think this was just a stab at Dion. Now, do I think Sheduer is worthy of a starting QB spot? I do. Do I think he's going to be starting this year? Yes, I do. I think as of right now, with Deshaun Watson being injured with this on the Cleveland Browns, I think Sheduer Sanders is the most talented QB on that team. If we're talking about Deshaun Watson being out there, I think Sheduer Sanders is by far the most talented QB on that team. And another thing, Cleveland, what the fuck are y'all gonna do with 5 quarterbacks? What the fuck are y'all gonna do with 5 different quarterbacks?
One or two of them getting cut.
Yeah, I think 2 of them are getting cut by the times what is that? Preseason starts. And I think somebody's getting cut in preseason.
Ooh.
That's what I think gonna happen. I think here's what I think gonna happen. I think Kenny Pickett gets cut before preseason, and I hate to say that. That hurts my heart to say that because I was, a very avid Kenny Pickett fan when he was with Pittsburgh, but it's the truth. And I think Dylan Gabriel gets cut in preseason. I think Sheduer Sanders I think he ends up being the second string, and I think Joe ends up being the third string and just kind of trying to mentor him. You know what I mean?
I think it'll probably be Joe, Kenny, Shador, then Dylan.
Now, where do you think Deshaun stands with this whole situation? Because it's still a possibility that Deshaun can play, but there's no telling.
He's gonna play whenever they say he can play, and then how he plays is gonna determine who else plays.
Well, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So like if it's the week 7 and it's looking like they fucked off, why not? Just throw his ass out there. Why not? But probably if they like 2-5 or something like that, yeah, why not? Honestly, bro, the Cleveland Browns situation is a dumpster fire. And honestly, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, yeah, you got to worry about the quarterback situation, but like you're really hoping Chubb and the offensive line come together and they can just run the ball.
Well, I don't think Chubb's coming back this year, bro. We saw what they did in the draft. I think that was a clear indication that Nick Chubb is not coming back to Cleveland, which is unfortunate.
That motherfucker is working out hard at Georgia. He back at Georgia working out hard. I think he'll be. I think he'll be back.
I hope he will. But let's go ahead and jump off into the draft, man. So with everything that happened in the draft, Ryan, I want you to tell me what are some teams you thought from what you saw. What are some teams that you thought had a really good draft?
Colts did decent. They got a tight end, and they got a edge rusher out of Ohio State, JT Tumamaleo. I'm sorry for butchering your name. They got a cornerback. They got a offensive tackle from Iowa State. You're a running back from Kansas, quarterback from Notre Dame, another defensive tackle from Alabama, linebacker from Wisconsin. They did a pretty decent draft. They're working on what they need because that defensive line was questionable, and then you got the linebacker they got. He has the potential. The middle linebacker they got. He has the potential to be something special in the NFL. So, I think the Colts did all right. Eagles did pretty good as usual. More Georgia players. Yeah, they did decent. What about you? What you think? What's the team you thought did all right?
I actually got a few of them, and a couple of them I really don't care. A couple of teams that I don't care for, but I got to be honest about it. I actually think Cleveland had a really good draft. Them getting that Mason Graham defensive tackle. I really think they're trying to establish a really dominant defensive line with him and with Mason Graham and Myles Garrett. I also like the Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson pairing in the backfield. I think what they're trying to do, they saw the success they had with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and I think they're trying to recreate that with some fresher, younger backs. Well, you know what I'm saying? So I do like that for them. And also the Patriots, man. I think the Patriots have made it very clear that they are all in on Drake May because he did start to come on at the end of the year last year, going after the best offensive lineman in the draft, and Will Campbell. Then getting them, a weapon in the backfield and Travion Henderson, shoring up the offensive line with Jared Wilson, and getting what was quietly one of the best wide receivers in college last year in Kyle Williams. He just, because he played with Mateer at Washington State, and Washington State, is not considered a premier school. He didn't really harvest a lot of attention. Also, I also really got to give it to the Giants. The Giants are going to have a very scary defensive line. Adding Abdul Carter to go along with Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence. It's gonna be kind of hard for quarterbacks to sleep at night knowing they got to face them motherfuckers. And then adding, I do like Scatterboo. I like Scatterboo. Him pairing him with Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary being a pass catching back, and I can see Cam Scatterboo being a very good third down back in this league. A very good third down third down in a red zone threat. I kind of look at him as how I looked at what's his name, Jamal Williams, when he first got to Detroit and he was just pounding it in the red zone. That's how I'm looking at Cam Scatterboo. I do now. I'm not as high on Jackson Dart as some other people, but I think he's coming into a good situation to where I don't really think he has to too much worry about starting in his first year. I do think it's going to be Russ and Jameis, and he can just sit back and, learn from the two of them. But but I also, as much as I'm not the big, as much as I can't stand this goddamn team. But I think the Cowboys had a pretty good draft, shoring up their offensive line because what's it, Zach Martin? Zach Martin did retire. They go after Tyler Booker to try to shore up the offensive line. And then I don't know if he's gonna make I don't know if he's gonna make an instant impact right away. But I do like the kid out of Texas, Jaden Blue. I think give it another year or two or whatever. I do think he's gonna be the starting. I do think he's gonna be the starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys.
I fucks with that.
Now what? Now go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know what I'm looking at. What the Chiefs did. I'm like, I guess. I mean, offensive tackle, defensive tackle, edge rusher, cornerback, wide receiver out of Utah State. I guess if he's a tall receiver, that would make more sense. They got another linebacker, another running back out of SMU. We'll see. We'll see.
Now, who are the team, like when you look at going back and looking at the draft now, what teams do you think have got they instantly got better with the additions that they made in the draft? Like if you can, like when you look at what the teams were last year and saying you look at who was added in the draft, what teams do you think instantly got better?
I'm gonna go ahead and say Jacksonville, just off the sheer fact of Travis Hunter, just what he brings to a football team when he's healthy. You really can't prepare for that. Can't really scout that. Another team, no, they didn't get better. Another team, uh, Chargers. Chargers got better. Definitely got better. They looked at it and said we need some weapons. So they got a running back, two wide receivers, and a tight end, an offensive guard. Yeah, they whole draft was offense. So they felt like if they were better offensively, they could have won that playoff game. What about you? Who you think?
I for sure think the Titans got better. I think they've done a good job of doing what they can to try to make sure that Cam Ward is successful. Getting Cam Ward, getting I think one of the third or fourth best wide receivers in A.O. Manor, or however you say his last name, and then signing what's his name Xavier Restrepo as an undrafted free agent. So they went and got Cam, one of Cam's favorite targets, just to ensure that he's comfortable. I do think the Patriots got substantially better. I also think the Panthers got better. I do, I like the pairing of Leggetti and and what's the guy's name? Teteroy McMillan. I do like that pairing. That just reinforces that they have a lot of confidence in Bryce, and he is definitely in their plans moving forward. They're doing what they can to try to make him the face of the franchise. So it's shaping up to be a pretty fun year.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get to jump into one of my favorite things to do. Let's go ahead and break down some divisions, shall we? Now we're gonna start off with what is considered to always be one of the most competitive divisions of football, the AFC North. First up, we have the Baltimore Ravens, who ended the year 12-5, lost in the divisional round to the Buffalo Bills. Some key departures for the Baltimore Ravens: offensive lineman Patrick McCarry, defensive back Tre'Davious White, linebacker Malik Harrison, offensive lineman Josh Jones, offensive lineman Ben Cleveland, and kicker Justin Tucker. Some key additions for the Ravens: DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver, cornerback Chidobe Awuzie, Joseph Noteboom on the offensive line, and some key draft picks for them was Malachi Starks, safety, edge rusher Mike Green, kicker Tyler Loop. Ryan, what is your outlook on the Baltimore Ravens, and how do you see the season ending for them this upcoming season?
Well, Ravens historically do good in the draft when you have a good head coach and a good front office. I feel like they listen to each other on player personnel decisions, and they really are on the same accord when they make decisions. So I mean, they had a good draft as usual, but How are they going to do? Yeah. Look, man, it could. I mean, they're gonna make the playoffs. They should. They just need to win the games they need to win. We pretty much at that point with that team. That's the team you always expect to be there in the end, and they need to figure it out.
So with the Baltimore Ravens, looking at every other team in the AFC North, I do expect the Baltimore Ravens to win this division again. And I mean, it pains me to say that as a Steelers fan, but I'm just, I'm speaking the truth and I'm being real with the situation and what I see. I do think the Baltimore Ravens are once again the best team in the AFC North. I do think the defense will be a lot better than they were last year because I'm sorry, that defense was not. I'm not going to say it was atrocious, but they were not the Baltimore Ravens defense that we were used to seeing.
They didn't help. They didn't help the offense like they normally do.
They definitely did not. And what was considered Lamar's best year, like the defense didn't. The
on
defense
paper,
on paper, it was. I think it was one of Lamar's best years, and the defense just didn't do much to help. There will be, I mean, with Justin Tucker leaving, and he's been probably the heart and soul of that team. I'm not gonna say the heart and soul, but he's been, the most. He's been the most recognizable, the biggest name player outside of Lamar Jackson on the team for quite some time. That's definitely going to be, an adjustment. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some trust issues with this new kicker coming in as opposed to what they've been used to. But other than that, I ultimately think, I think the Ravens will be just fine. As long as you got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the backfield, I don't really think there's much that can go wrong with that. Then them adding DeAndre Hopkins on the outside to go along with Bateman and Zay Flowers. It's shaping up for Lamar to make another run at the MVP. I'll just say that. I will say that much.
Yeah, I mean, their success is based on his play. So if he's playing at his highest level, then yeah, I love what they did offensively throughout the season in terms of different schemes and stuff. And don't be surprised if we start seeing a tad bit more Derrick Henry than we saw last year.
I would not be surprised. Honestly, I think we may see less of Derrick Henry than we saw last year. I'm being totally honest.
Was that to keep him healthy? I mean, this is a running football team.
It is a running football team, but I think it's to keep him healthy. I mean, Derrick Henry is getting, he's hitting that age right around where running backs start going on the decline. So I think I think them adding DeAndre Hopkins was a move so they don't have to feed him as much.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see, man. I mean, Baltimore is one of them teams that we always sit up here and say, well, they may make the playoffs, they might not, and they always find a way to be there. They always find a fucking way to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Now go ahead.
Next team in the North. I'm gonna go with not them.
Let me know. We'll jump off into them. You pick the team, and we'll go ahead and break it down.
I know the team. The team that didn't do shit in the draft again is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Go ahead. My bad.
All they got was 2 guards. You need a whole new offensive line. Okay, they got Sheduer Sanders out of Texas A&M, Demarius Knight out of South Carolina, linebacker, guard, Dylan Farchild out of Georgia, linebacker Barrett Carter out of Clemson, offensive guard Jalen Rivers out of Miami, running back Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech. What the fuck? And there's no disrespect to these players, but okay, you got some guards, but you could use some tackles too.
Well, let's talk about some of their departures and additions. Yeah. Cincinnati Bengals, some key departures for them. Sheldon Rankins, defensive line. Alex Kappa, offensive line. Trent Brown, offensive line. Akeem Davis Gather, linebacker. Some key additions for them. Running back Samaje Perine comes back. Offensive lineman Lucas Patrick and Oren Burks, linebacker. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to throw those in there. But go ahead, Ryan.
No, it's just you have a generational quarterback, a generational tight end, and wide receiver, and a generational, well, for his era, he's pretty good in that defensive end, Hutchinson. And y'all continue to do nothing. We talking about 3 at each position of his name. Those are the three best players in the NFL last year at their respective positions, and you did not make the playoffs because your offensive line is ass, and your defensive line or your defense is ass. Y'all never come through, and it was just like, and I'm so tired of bringing up that year they went to the Super Bowl because it was like there were some calls, no calls that they were able to control that worked out. By they, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I do have the suspicion that the Bengals probably will make the playoffs this year.
We'll see. My thing with the Bengals is going back to what you said. I'm really getting tired of this whole. They made the Super Bowl 1 year, so now y'all just picking this team to go back every fucking year. The Bengals have been so bad the last 2 years that one of their best defensive players retired. He's been in the league 7 years, 6, 7 years. You know what? Fuck this shit. I can't take this no more. I can't take the disappointment no more. One of their best defensive players, Sam Hubbard. He couldn't take the bullshit no more. But with this Bengals team, I expect more of the same. I expect them to get out to another fucking slow start like they have been and just miss the fucking playoffs. I mean, granted, props to them. The Bengals have always been known as a cheat team, so they did, lock up two of the players, two of the heart and soul of that offense, two of the best players on that team, and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. So I will give them props for that, but there's still too many questions about this defense. I mean, granted, you did fire defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, but outside of that, I mean, you didn't really do anything that's really substantial. I mean, you didn't sign any, game changers on offense or the defense. So I'm really expecting I'm expecting more of the same out of this team. One of two things is gonna happen. Either y'all are gonna end up, either the Bengals are gonna end up, they're gonna start slow and miss the playoffs again, or they're gonna be a team that's just up and down. They'll win, they'll lose 2 games, then win a game. Then they'll lose a game, then they'll win a game, so on and so forth. They'll be. I think the Bengals will end up being one of those teams.
Didn't they win like 7 to 8 straight though?
I think 6.
When they had to, if they lost a game, they were done. And they got to the last game of the season and lost. That season they won.
They won, but the Chiefs lost.
Yeah, they needed Kansas City to win. Kansas City didn't start nobody. They said, "Ha bitches."
It ain't our fault. You motherfucker, maybe if y'all didn't start the season 1-5 and 1-4, then we'd be having a different conversation. I'm just saying. Y'all want to start that? Well, the Chiefs were scared of the Bengals. Ain't nobody scared of them motherfuckers. Ain't nobody, and there is nobody. Y'all make this shit. Y'all create these fucking bullshit ass narratives in y'all head and from the media, and y'all just run with it. Nobody's scared of the fucking Bengals, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's scared of the Bengals. The Bengals do this shit to themselves every year, every goddamn year. You motherfuckers want to keep starting 1-4, 1-5, 0-4. That's on y'all. You see what the fuck happened last year, and you see what happened the year before that. So,
facts. No, facts. You're not lying. You're not lying, my friend.
At this point, if we're being honest, I think it's time for the fucking coach to go. Bro, get the fuck out. Thank you for the Super Bowl appearance. Now get the fuck out.
That's fucked up, Tim.
I can't stand. I think I'm starting to hate the Bengals more than I'm starting to hate the Ravens, if I'm being totally honest, bro.
Because they don't do shit and they talk a lot. And Bengals fans are crazy online, bro.
It's like, bro, y'all made a Super Bowl. Y'all ain't won shit.
Well, it's more than Baltimore.
Baltimore has 2 Super Bowls in the last fucking 25 years. You motherfuckers got there You got there once. Y'all can talk all the shit you want about us. We still you said fuck you want about us. Motherfucker, we got 6 of them.
Fuck y'all. Anyway, who's the next team in this lovely fucking division of yours?
Well, we're going to talk about my team, and I'm honestly fucking dreading it. We're going to talk about my Pittsburgh Steelers, who went 10-7 last year. Yeah, that's how the fuck I feel. Pittsburgh Steelers went 10-7 last year, got eliminated by the Baltimore Ravens in the wild card round. Some key departures for this team, and trust me, we got a lot of them. We lose. This one hurt. God, this one hurt. We lose George Pickens in the trade to Dallas. We lose for a bag of Skittles and no. I'm sorry. A bag of the $1.25 Red Hot Riplets and a fucking best cream soda. That's what we lose George Pickens for. But yeah, we lose George Pickens. We lose wide receiver Mike Williams. We lose defensive lineman Larry Ogunjobi. We lose offensive lineman James Daniels, cornerback Dante Jackson, quarterback Justin Fields, defensive lineman Nate Herbig, linebacker Landon Roberts, running back Najee Harris, quarterback Russell Wilson, and defensive lineman Dan Moore. So key additions for the Steelers. We get DK Metcalf in the trade. We sign Robert Woods. Mason Rudolph comes back. Malik Harrison, and we signed Kenneth Gainwell, running back. Some key draft picks for us. We did get one of the best defensive linemen in the draft, and Derek Harmon out of Oregon. We get running back Caleb Johnson, and we get Jack Sawyer, and we get Will Howard. Ryan, let me take this one first.
That's actually a decent draft.
It is. It really is. If
you had a starting quarterback.
Yeah. I really want to know what the fuck is going on with the Steelers. Okay, first off, this fucking George Pickens trade. Y'all trade him for draft compensation. Why the fuck you ain't do that on draft day? What sense is the difference, bro? We like a week and a half removed from the draft. And y'all was going to trade him for draft compensation. You could have done that draft night and drafted Sheduer like we thought y'all was going to fucking do. But, hey, whatever. I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge of making fucking moves in Pittsburgh. Not to mention, y'all are still banking on Aaron Rodgers coming to Pittsburgh. Bro, this story has been going on for 2 fucking months. The draft is now over. At this point, I don't fucking think Aaron Rodgers is coming. So who's going to play quarterback for us? Fucking Mason Rudolph?
He's still there? He went back?
He came back.
Oh.
I look, man. I think Will Howard has all the qualities and mechanics to be a great backup in this league, but I don't think he's the answer either. But with the Pittsburgh Steelers, it pains me to say this, but I think that this may be our first losing season. I really do. I think this just may be our first losing season. There is nothing unless we make a significant trade or for another wide receiver and we somehow get Aaron Rodgers or trade for a quarterback. I don't see this team having a whole lot of success this season. I really don't. I think the defense is good. I think the defense is great as always. But as far as us like making the playoffs, I just don't think we're going to be that team. I do like the pieces that we added in the draft and in the offseason for the future, but it's just I don't think this season is going to be it. Like I said, it pains me to say that, and even as a Steelers fan, I can be real with myself and say that, but I'm gonna watch, and I'm gonna watch every game, everything that we do this year. I'm gonna take it unless we make the playoffs or something. I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. But Ryan, you go ahead and you take over the Steelers.
I told you, motherfuckers, y'all should have just kept Russ. Should have just kept Russ, ran the ball, and you guys would have been okay. But y'all don't want to do that. You guys want to say fuck Russ because the only quarterback we're ever going to pay ever has been Roethlisberger, and that's fact.
Yeah.
And you traded away George Pickens away for a bag of chips, some Now Laters, maybe a QT hot dog or something, taquito or egg roll, whatever you're into. And now it's May. Look, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to sign Aaron in June. Aaron is probably on a retreat or something, getting high as fuck off toad or whatever the fuck, whatever he likes to do. And then like a lot of the shit he was saying, like with the in terms of taking the shot and all that shit, I was fucking with that because like y'all just came up with that. How I know that's not bleaching a syringe. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's Pittsburgh, and usually y'all have. I mean, you guys did have a good draft with the idea. Okay, this is our quarterback. This is the offense we gonna run, things like that. But now it's like y'all gonna sign Aaron. Everything is leaning towards that, or like they just, because the Pittsburgh is one of the better franchises. They're well ran. So they come in that era like, look, nigga, all that fuck shit you was on in Green Bay and New York, you're not doing that here, friend. And your motherfucking ass can be in Calabasas or wherever the fuck you like to be in the off season over there doing that shit. Okay, you understand, fucker? But I I don't know. Pittsburgh is a head scratching ass team because they always start off great, and then at the end of the season, it's like, oh well, okay.
This Pittsburgh that we know.
Well, y'all be all right.
We shall see, man. We definitely before this is over, we got to talk about the George Pickens trade. But yeah, we gonna move on. The last team in the AFC North, the good old Cleveland Browns, who ended the year 3-14. The key departures for this team: Jedrick Wills, offensive lineman, quarterback Jameis Winston, wide receiver Elijah Moore, Nick Chubb at running back, and Jermaine Ifedi, linebacker. Some key additions for this team: wide receiver Deontay Johnson, linebacker Jerome Baker, quarterback Joe Flacco, quarterback Kenny Pickett, offensive lineman Cornelius Lucas, defensive lineman Joe Tryon Shoyinka, offensive lineman Tevin Jenkins, and defensive lineman Julian Okwara. Some key draft picks for this team: defensive lineman Mason Graham, running back Quinshon Judkins, linebacker Carson Swinsiger. I can't pronounce that.
UCLA. All
right. Yeah. Quarterback Dylan Gabriel, running back Dylan Sampson, and of course, quarterback Sheduer Sanders. Ryan, go ahead and take up on this Cleveland team, and let me know what you think about this team this season, and what is what's your prediction for how this team is going to look this upcoming season?
They honestly had the best draft, if you ask me, at your whole division, simply because they are already working towards Deshaun being gone. Okay, motherfucker, we got 4 fucking quarterbacks, 5 if you count that fucker. Somebody's gonna be winning us games. You know what I'm saying? Like the '89 Cowboys. Which one of you motherfuckers is gonna do it? Okay, but but yeah, they had a good draft. I like the defensive tackle out of Michigan because he balled the fuck out. That linebacker at UCLA, obviously he didn't get talked about much. I like they running back room. I like the addition of a tight end. Pittsburgh always is in the search of a good tight end whenever they can get one. But Bowling Green, that's interesting. Sheduer obviously should have been the 5th pick in the fucking draft, but I understand. Or it could have been the 33rd pick in the draft, or the 36th pick, or you know what I'm saying? No, that 36th pick was good. Getting Quinshon Judkins was very good. That was a very good pickup. I don't agree with. No, I'm thinking of y'all letting go of y'all running back. I don't know how I'm thinking about that, but yeah, they are prepared. They are prepared for the future, and I think their quarterback is Mr. Sheduer Sanders. Give about. I just don't want it to be a situation to where they like 1-8. The season is fucked off. Let's throw them in there against the statistically at the time the best fucking defense in the NFL, and then see, he's ass. You know, like why can't he have the Jackson Dart situation? Because when he showed to be ass, it's gonna be like, well, you had enough time.
That's fair. That's fair. So with this Browns team for this upcoming season, I think we saw a lot of what we saw a couple years ago with them. Running that 2-headed monster out of the backfield. Because, like I said, they now have some newer, fresher backs in the backfield, and until they get the QB situation figured out, I do think they're gonna leave heavily on the run game with Judkins and with Sampson. These are both very dominant backs coming out of college. I also think that with them, especially with them adding Deontay Johnson, let's not forget Deontay Johnson's a hell of a route runner. You put him with Jerry Jeudy, I do think that I do think we see some improvements in the passing game depending on who the quarterback is. And I honestly think As much as I hate to say this, I think Deshaun is either traded or cut by midseason. If he plays any bit of what the fuck he played last year, I don't think he's going to be on this team very long. But I mean, the Browns have spent a lot of money in between, with Deshaun, giving Myles Garrett that big ass contract. So it's like there's no more. It's no longer a waiting game with them. This team got to figure this shit out right now. This team got to figure this shit out right now with either this year or obviously. I don't expect this team to make the playoffs. I don't expect them to win the Super Bowl or nothing like that. But I expect them to be better than they were last year. And if not, it's time to make a head coaching change. It's time to change some shit in the front office. But yeah, like with all the y'all been building and building for the past like 3-4 years. It's time to put this shit together, man. It's time to finally put this shit together.
7-10.
Like, bro, y'all got, now what's crazy is now y'all got 4 more names to add on to that fucking jersey with all the quarterback names on it. You 3 technically. You can add Pickett. You can add Sanders, which is crazy because I never thought we'd see any member of the fucking Sanders family playing for fucking Cleveland, but here we are.
Maybe. Well, no, technically they're Baltimore. No, Dion played for Baltimore. I would like that had he got drafted by Baltimore. I mean, he was never gonna play, but he would have got that NFL money.
Yeah, we that's really, let's be honest, that's really what the fuck went on with the whole Sheduer situation. Yeah, the Peyton did, the Mannings did it. Oh yeah, you really think you can get your motherfucker? Watch this.
But they did though, bro.
I know they did. We all know they did. Anybody that watches football with a lick of fucking sense knows what the fuck went on with the Manning boys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest.
You know that shit, nigga, politics.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I do want to go back to this motherfucking George Pickens trade, bro. Like, okay, where was? First off, it was a bad week a bad couple days in sports for me for that. The Celtics, because the Celtics blew a fucking 20-point lead, lost the game on a bullshit ass turnover. Then I gotta go to bed to that. Then I wake up and the first thing I see is that George Pickens gets traded to the fucking Cowboys of all goddamn teams for a fucking bag of chips and a goddamn fountain soda.
Jerry is back.
Bro,
come on, baby.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Pittsburgh, y'all of all people, y'all let Jerry Jones fleece y'all, man. Y'all let Jerry Jones take y'all to McDonald's for a fucking Sprite and a McChicken for our best fucking player.
Now tell me what he did.
We don't give a fuck.
I mean, but no, y'all notorious for knowing when it's time to let go of a wide receiver. I will give y'all that. Y'all 1,000% notorious for that.
That's true too.
But damn, I saw that. I'm like, this fake. And then I hopped on Twitter. I'm like,
oh. But okay, now let's talk about what this means for the Cowboys. Because I will say this. I'm gonna say this. When the shit is not working on the offense, and you see CD and George Pickens on the sidelines throwing blows, that's gonna be must see TV.
Because he's the type of nigga he'll pick his helmet up and just, you say what, motherfucker? Hey,
man, they gonna fuck around and have a camera on him, and you're gonna see him Dak's ass. Dak's ass.
He was gonna be in the camera like.
I will say this though. As much as I hate to see George Pickens go, a place like a wide receiver of George Pickens' caliber, a place like Dallas is perfect for him. It's perfect for him.
About to say, okay, CD finally get his catches because you're gonna have to cover him too.
Yeah.
But like, what's gonna really bring it together is they got a tight end. I think they do. He just ain't really recruited.
Jake Ferguson or one of the motherfuckers. But yeah, I mean, if they get a running back, bro, Dallas is a legit threat.
Mm-hmm.
If Dallas can, if they can get a running back and get their running back situation figured out, Dallas is a legit threat, and it pains me to say that. It pains me to say that, but it's like I said, a wide receiver of George Pickens caliber and like his personality and everything, he's perfect for Dallas. He's perfect for Dallas. I'm not a Dallas fan at all. I don't fuck with Dallas, but I will be rooting for George Pickens. I fuck with George Pickens. It just damn that hurt, man. That one, Pittsburgh of all the players, like no, I can't say that. I can't say that because they were literally making us choose between George Pickens and TJ Watt. It's like one of these motherfuckers are gone this season. And you cut out, Ryan. You cut out.
They made a decision. You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
They made a decision. We're keeping our pride and joy of TJ Watt. He is the founding one of the installing pillars of Steelers football, and we need him on the team because that's how much he means to us. Fuck scoring touchdowns. We need sacks.
Well, what it was, and I kind of saw it coming because it's like George Pickens was asking for a new contract and they weren't trying to give it to him. And I think TJ, I don't know if they just paid TJ or they're getting ready to pay TJ, but I know TJ is due for another one. So it's like, yeah, they pretty much had a choice to make. We're either going to pay TJ or we're going to pay George Pickens. And with everything that George Pickens has gotten into on the sideline or whatever, I kind of saw that one coming. I
thought they was going to give it to after this season. I thought it was going to be something like that. But no,
I thought it was too, especially with us getting DK Metcalf. The rumor circulating with Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be coming to Pittsburgh, but it's like, I don't know, man.
Explain that shit to me. You throwing passes to DK right after the trade is finalized. It's announced. Right after the trade press conference and all that shit, you throwing passes this nigga like 2 days later.
Yeah, it just make it did shit. But that's what I said, man. By this, I thought the motherfucker would have been assigned by now. Shit,
it doesn't make sense to me.
It does not, man. It does not. But anyway, man, as always, if you have made it this far in the episode, as always, we thank y'all for tuning in. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Give us any type of constructive. Give us constructive criticism, not any type of constructive criticism, because all constructive criticism is kind of some bullshit, and then we got to have a whole different conversation.
Fucking bitch.
But as always, man, Ryan, I love you, brother, and I hope you have a safe and enjoyable weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be very safe, very enjoyable. I'm gonna be in the crib about 75% of it. It's gonna be real nice.
I feel that. I got a Leah this weekend, so you know what I'm doing. Nothing.
Yeah. Damn, bro, it's a fight and shit. Oh.
It is, yeah. Damn, fight night tomorrow. Oh, it's the Bilal and JDM card too. Okay, I change plans. I might have to talk to moms.
Yo, let's watch it for a couple hours, man. I'll be right back, man. Come on, man.
Oh, she will too. She will. Moms will watch it, especially if she got all the other kids. She'll be over there.
Excellent. Smithers, get your fucking ass in here, bitch, and rub my toes. Now.
Just imagine if they actually let them cuss like that in The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we was talking about it today. Okay, Ryan, give me a movie that you saw probably way too early. Like you was what, like when you look back on it now, it's like I probably should not have been watching that at that time.
Definitely Showgirls. That's up there. Probably what was that one movie? It was titled NC-17. Like it was about niggas getting off and bitches getting raped and murdered. It was that was a movie. Probably Face Off, Freddy versus Jason, Candyman. Definitely Candyman. Saw that shit way too fucking early in life. What about you, motherfucker?
Ooh, How High?
No, that's fine.
No, nigga, I was in like
they were smoking on ivory.
I was in like third grade when I saw that shit. The Players Club.
Yeah, that was fucked up. Yeah.
The Players Club. Ooh, what was one? What was another one? I mean, can I say Menace to Society or Boys in the Hood? I was like,
I mean, you can, but like getting educated on how the world views you. I don't think it's never too young for that. Understanding it at that age is fucked up.
no, I mean, I didn't. I saw it and I thought it was a good movie, but it's like I didn't understand. Like watching it. It's certain movies that like when you watch it as a kid and you watch it as an adult. It's like when you watch it as a kid, you think it's a good movie, you think it's dope. When you watch when you watch it as an adult, it's like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Now
that's the tough part.
Now give me a movie that you saw that like you wish. It could be an old movie, new movie, or whatever. Give me a movie that you saw that you wish you could have that you were there like opening night that you wish you could experience for the first time.
Shit, Sanders.
Yeah, I still ain't seen that.
You need to, bro.
I know I need to. For me,
you need to. That movie good as fuck.
That's what I've heard. For me, Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Terminator 2.
If I had a time machine, I could take some tickets from somebody. Go see this shit tomorrow, bitch. Okay.
Yeah, I've read like, bro, that was honestly that's one of my favorite. I'm not even gonna say one of. That's my favorite comfort film, and it's fucked up that that's a comfort film.
I mean, it's considered the best for a long time. It was considered the best action movie of all time.
Well, because you got to look at it. When I went back and watched like when I went back and read like the articles and watched the the breakdown of that film and whatnot, the technology that was in that movie, that was like their first time experimenting with all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I think that movie had like the biggest budget and like broke box office, all kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely Terminator 2. That's definitely one movie that I wish I could experience for the first time.
Is that the best sequel ever?
Probably.
I don't know. Dark Knight is up there.
Kill Bill Volume 2.
Matrix, not Revelations, Resolutions.
No, Reloaded.
Reloaded, my bad.
Reloaded.
Yeah.
Shit, X-Men 2. Shit, Bad Boys 2. That was a good one.
Yeah. Shit. Blade 2.
No.
Blade 2 was good.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of Trinity. Blade.
Trinity was ass. She was ass. Like, bro, I don't want to look at Triple H and fucking Ryan Reynolds the whole fucking movie, bro.
I mean, depending on where you rank it, but shit, next Friday. Not Friday after next Friday.
I know next Friday with the dog and they had the house. And, bitch, pancake, nigga. What the turn again, motherfucker?
Don't just step in that flowers, motherfucker. I just planted that shit.
Daddy, you fired, man. You ain't your cousin, man. Or you worker. Get the fuck out my shit.
You keep your goddamn mouth shut.
Them weed brownies with the dogs.
Yeah, man.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Now it's like not moving. Now like the concept, it's rare that an original concept movie hits. And I think that's part of the reason why Sinners did so good is because it's a fresh concept, it's a fresh idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, oh, this shit worked in the 80s. Let's see if we can get it off here. You know, like all these remakes.
It's Sinners pretty much like a zombie movie or something like that.
No, it's a vampire movie.
Okay, that's what it. That's what
it's based in doing Jim Crow in Mississippi. So yeah, it's a lot of different elements. You get to see different cultures and have a different perspective on shit.
I'm definitely gonna try to watch that.